Okay, our final speaker today, I'd like to introduce Superintendent of Lancaster City Schools, Nathan Hale.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. As you've seen today, this is an amazing place. It's so easy to stand up here every year and brag about our kids. You know, Lancaster City Schools, we are committed to developing well-rounded graduates prepared to contribute to society beyond high school. We start every presentation with our portrait of a graduate because that's what we're all about. We focus on three key areas: learning, caring, and succeeding. We want our students to be equipped with strong academic foundations, meeting state standards, and fostering critical thinking. We want them to be prepared for success in higher education, workforce development, or military enlistment. We want them to have strong social-emotional skills, empathy, respect, and confidence. Our graduates take pride in our community, and we want them to come back and be solid contributors. We develop resilient, driven individuals with strong work ethics and leadership capabilities. Our graduates demonstrate integrity, reliability, effective communication, enabling them to achieve their goals and maintain a healthy lifestyle. We want to ensure that our students, when they leave Lancaster High School, that they're employed, enrolled, or enlisted, and we want them to be successful beyond high school. We want them on a pathway to a great career so that they can come back and someday sit in your seats. That's our goal. Once again, I'm pleased to have the opportunity to have two of our soon-to-be graduates with us today. So if they would please stand. I have with us, absolutely. First, I have Maddie Booth. Maddie's a member of my superintendent leadership group. She was a participant on our girls' soccer team. She's a mentor with our Big Brothers, Big Sisters program. She's been on the honor roll all 4 years of high school. She currently works at the Family Y, and she's planning to attend the University of Kentucky, studying kinesiology on a pathway to become a physical therapist. Congratulations, Maddie. Next, I have Mr. Ryan Durbin. Ryan is a member of my superintendent leadership group. He was the field commander for the superior-rated Band of Gold. He is lieutenant for the Criminal Science and Forensics Program and a president of Skills USA. He's a member of the National Honor Society, National Honor Technical Society, and and he plans to attend Ohio University Lancaster for law enforcement technology, and he's going to head down the road to Athens to study criminal justice. So congratulations once again to Maddie Booth and Ryan Durbin. I get to work with these kids every single day, and 6,000 of them just like that. And it's such a privilege and an honor to lead this district. I want to take just a couple of minutes to talk about the numbers for the district before we get into the fun stuff. Lancaster City Schools, in terms of enrollment, we're ranked number 36 out of 610 schools. We're a big place in the state of Ohio. Just over 6,000 students. We have over 850 employees with an additional 100 or so substitute positions. Our general fund is close to and will exceed over $100 million over the next few years. Most of it comes from local share, property and income tax. We're proud to say that over 70% of all of our funds go to direct classroom instruction, 6% higher than the state average. We spend our dollars where it's most important. And I'm pleased to say that we're getting great results. Above state standards on our overall report card, excellent rated in our progress, growth, and gap closing, And congratulations to our career technical students by achieving the highest score possible, 5 stars on our last report card. Congratulations, Mr. Davis. Now, we recognize that in order to keep these great results, we have to involve all of our parents, all of our staff, and all of you. So I just kind of want to take you a walk around the district just this year on something that we put a high priority on, and that's to engage all of you and engage our parents within the buildings. We started out the year, Channel 4, with Stuff the Backpack. We received over 1,200 completely stuffed backpacks for school supplies. I couldn't give them all away. I still have some over in our maintenance building because of the generosity of other community groups donating to our schools. We had our Veterans Day programs throughout the district. This is one of the pictures from Medill Elementary, but we invite our veterans in every single year to honor them. Habitat for Humanity partnered with our preschool to build a new playhouse over at the preschool campus. And over at Tarhee Trails, I know Mr. Campbell has invited parents in throughout the year for our awards assemblies, and it's great to have our Lancaster High School students there to represent the high school and participate in those activities. Thomas Ewing, our Builders Club. Our students participate in an after-school program where they're building things with their hands and then donating them back to community organizations. And this is our second year having the Builders Club over at Thomas Ewing. We're so proud of that. Our program over at Bridges, we've had several family literacy nights, math nights, and they even had a cookie decorating party. Most of it was eating. I'm not sure how much decorating went on over at that night. Our Lancaster High School, they do such a tremendous job working with our community. The Ghoulish Gales, and I've got a picture here, that was wrapped around the building this year. I think we served all of Lancaster and most of Fairfield County, and that night is completely run by our student activity groups, giving back to the community. And then over that same month, they went down to Alley Park and helped out with the pumpkin walk. Our marketing program every year, one of our great partners here in town is the Ale House and Matt Brady. And our marketing mocktail event gives us a chance to take our students out, and many of you participated and got a chance to talk with those kids, and I'll bet you'd hire every single one of them. Our Rotary program, we still go out the dictionaries to grade 3, and one of the things I just realized yesterday is last year I talked about the 2 students that I worked with over at Talmadge and Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I didn't include the 2 kids I work with at Gorsuch West, but they're right here because they're both 3rd graders and they helped me pass out the dictionaries for Rotary. So I told them yesterday, I said, you're actually part of my presentation, and I didn't even realize it. Talmadge Elementary, this is a program that we've started this year with our fine arts performances. We've added art, music, and PE teachers all day, every day in each of our elementary schools, which has allowed us to develop art clubs, music clubs, PE clubs, and add those performances for parents to come in. Our holiday literacy night at Mount Pleasant, we had several board members and administrators serve as guest readers. A great picture here of Mr. Everett reading to some students, and he did a really nice job, by the way. Over at General Sherman, this is a project that we led the way the last couple of years, the Chamber of Commerce Civics Bee. We had 125 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students write essays so that they could try to compete in the Civics Bee that's coming up in a couple of weeks. 125 over at Sherman, almost 100 at Thomas Ewing. We'll have 20 finalists on the stage in about 3 weeks for the Civics Bees. 17 of them are from Lancaster City Schools. So that's a countywide project that we have 85% of the winners. Again, not bragging, just saying. We had Channel 4 and Channel 6 come in to do some meteorologist presentations. Our students are weather aware. They know where to go when there's a storm. They know what to do. They ask some great questions. But again, bringing in some of those community agencies into our schools. Math and Literacy Night, this was a great one that just happened a couple of weeks ago over at Medill. Each of the teachers decorated their doorways with their favorite books. And the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, which I saw in your presentation, Mr. Edwards, there was actually music playing with that one, so that was a pretty good one. If you've been to Tarhee Trails and walked down that main hallway, this stained glass project was a partnership with the Glass Museum and our art students. Don't miss it. If you get a chance to walk over to Tarhee Trails, it is spectacular. And then finally, our big brothers, big sisters. We're so proud of the high school students that go out and work with our young students and mentor them. Great experience for the young students, but even more so for our high school kids. And this year, Mr. Picklesheimer over at Thomas Ewing was awarded the Phil Mackey Award because his Maple Wood Shop class develops toys that they donate to the students. What a great honor. If you knew who Mr. Mackey was, anytime you're mentioned with him, spectacular. So Jerry, we're almost there. A few years ago, 15 or so, we started working on our master facilities plan. And as all of you know, we're almost at the finish line. When I spoke in 2023 about Lancaster High School, that's what it looked like. I'm excited to say that we've made a few improvements since then. If you look at the new Lancaster High School today, this is what you'll see. This is an overview of the entire project, sitting between the existing building and Ohio University Lancaster. Length of this main hallway, you've heard me say this before, about 710 feet. For those of you that play golf, it's a good 3-iron down that hallway. Haven't tried it yet. About 40 feet wide. All of our academic classrooms over here on the west side, administrative wing, auxiliary gym, competition gym, auditorium, art and music classes down the east side. And I'll show you a picture here in just a little while, this amazing space, which is our library media center. An overhead view of the building gives you an idea of the scale. Current Lancaster High School and Career Tech building, new Lancaster High School. It's going to be an amazing space that will open here in just a little over a year, August of 2026. I mentioned the Library Media Center on that second floor, that rotunda area that's above the main entrance. And I love showing this before and after slide because it's getting closer to this. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And down the side, we have lots of open classroom spaces for small groups throughout the library. Again, there's where we are. That's where we'll be. Our classroom spaces, if you put furniture in there, we could almost use the building now. All of the casework is in, tag boards, whiteboards, ceiling tiles will come later because we don't want them damaged or dirty. Flooring is in. This is the final paint coat. If you walk through the building now, you'll see signs on the doorways. Final paint, be careful, don't touch, all of those kinds of signs. One of the areas, and it's amazing how many times when you talk with educators that restrooms come up. One of the areas that our high school staff is most excited about are these small group work areas. We have one of these in each of the wings of the building, along with individual adult restrooms. If you've been to Lancaster High School, adult restrooms and student restrooms are a high priority, and they're a little bit lacking in our current building. So we're excited to say that we have both improved at the new building. Along the west side of the building, we have 3 courtyards, 2 closed areas and 1 open. And you can imagine the nice daylight that's going to be able to come into these classrooms from these spaces. And we have the grass growing. This is probably the best grass in the city school district. It's amazing how quickly that's come up. In the northwest corner of our building, science. One entire wing of this building is designated for science. You can see the expanded workspaces, storage areas, fume hoods, workspaces for the staff in between each of the science rooms. It's going to be a great addition to our curriculum. Now in the northwest corner, featured our 5-star rated career tech programs. This is the interior space for our new auto tech lab. Each of the career tech areas has a lab space, and then we have several classrooms dedicated to our career tech spaces throughout the building. It's going to be a great place for those programs to operate. The auditorium. This is one of the areas that's kind of really taken shape over the last couple of weeks, maybe month. All of the drywall is now up, and they'll start on the interior, the orchestra pit with the bricks, the stage area. And we found out the other day, all of this drywall, there were about 3 people involved in putting all that up, and it took them about 2 weeks. So we've got some great construction workers out on this site. Speaking of the auditorium, shameful plug, we have our spring musical coming up April 4th, 5th, and 6th out at the high school, and this year it will be Mamma Mia. Don't miss it. It's going to be a good one. So as you can see, we're living up to the expectations that our community demands for our district. We look forward to completing the high school and maintaining excellence throughout the district across the next year. But I want to close today by sharing with all of you probably one of the best days I've ever had as a superintendent. As many of you know, we had a group of runners last fall that did something that will never be duplicated. Our girls cross country team not only won the state championship, first championship in girls sports in Lancaster City Schools history, but they did so with an undefeated season and several perfect scores throughout the year. That's unheard of in cross country. And I can tell you, watching that final event last November was a day that I'll never forget. It reminds me, and hopefully it reminds all of you, why we do what we do. It's up to all of us to make sure that we continue to provide the best opportunities for our kids. That's what Lancaster City Schools, that's what the city of Lancaster is all about. So I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank you for your continued support of our students and our school districts, and I want to thank you for continuing to make Lancaster City Schools the place to be for learning, caring, and succeeding. Have a great day. Thank you very much.